Hey, you guys. What's up? Oh, man. Okay, I got my kitty yesterday. He's so cute. I was going to name him Maynard, and then I changed it. I changed it to Jimmy. Uh, it's hard to explain. But anyways, yeah, so his name is Jimmy. He's like a medium long hair, gray tabby. Super cute. He's about a year old. I shared some pictures of him on Facebook. And so if you are in my Facebook group or you follow me on Facebook or we're friends on Facebook, then you could go see him. He's super cute. I'll show him to you one of these days, but he's not sure he likes the tile floor. It's kind of cold, I think. And so I'm still working on the kitchen. Still don't have the sink put in yet, but it's interesting when you're trying to create a kitchen out of something that was never intended to be a kitchen. So it's been kind of fun. And I'm actually using some stainless steel, like commercial kitchen work tables as countertops. So yeah, it's actually pretty neat, and none of it is permanent. It's going to all be easily removed if down the road we decide we don't want this to be a kitchen. So anyway, so that's my little update. Oh my God, I got more stuff from Forever French. You guys, it's so serious. Now that Louise and I have developed a friendship, we've had more conversations about the kinds of things that I'm always looking for, and she's starting to kind of expand her horizons and, looking for new things in France. And it's just, I don't know, like, it's just really fun. We're really having a good time and really kind of clicking in our little, I don't want to call it a partnership, but our friendship. So it's nice, and it's working out well for both of us. I am going to put together some frickin' amazing French bundles one of these days. If I can ever stop buying stuff to where I feel like, okay, you guys are going to get a little bit of all the good stuff in each bundle, because I always think I'm ready to put together a bundle, and then I get more stuff from her and I go, oh, well, I got to wait until I get that stuff. And so these are going to be like $1 million bundles. I'm just saying. No, I'm just kidding. And just so you guys know, like, that stuff is not cheap, right? I don't need to say that, but if any of you guys have looked at her website, or at her Etsy shop, I mean, it's not cheap, So my thinking when I'm buying, that kind of stuff from her, just all these old books and ledgers and notebooks and just really, really neat old ephemera and cards and all kinds of stuff. I want to be able to use that stuff in my journals. And so, but obviously I can't use all of it. Like there's way too many pages in a book for me to use all of them in a journal. So my thinking when I'm doing that is it's an investment in my journals, and it's also an investment in bundles that I can sell, So that's kind of where I balance it out. Like, if I can sell bundles of these beautiful things that I've purchased from her, it works out well for you guys, because you get like a selection of all kinds of different things, and you don't have to make that, bigger investment in buying the, the ledger book. And I earn some of my money back. And then I also get to use that stuff in my journals that I sell. So, yeah, so it's working out really well. And of course, there's some things that I just buy because I love them, and I just do. But maybe through digitals and all that kind of stuff, hopefully I will find that it's been a smart investment. So anyway, so back to the lap books. I've had a number of requests for these already, and I really, really appreciate it. I am a little bit unsure though at this point what the pricing is going to be like on these. So it's really hard for me to say that I will hold one for someone because maybe you won't want it when I don't know. Like I don't know what's going to happen, but there are at least requested holds on about 5 of them, and I think I'm doing 9 altogether. So just so you know, they may or may not wind up in my Etsy shop. So if you are interested in one, please be aware that I don't know what the pricing is going to be yet. And if you would like to have an option on one, just send me an email and I will add you to that list. So, okay. So here's where we are. The last video, wow, I'm like way into this video and I haven't even said anything. The last video I was working on the covers, trying to sort of get them to a point where they were basically done, right? And so I was adding the fabric, like reinforcement on the inside. Look at how many lines of stitching I have on here. I was adding some fabric on the inside. This is actually sari silk that was ironed and then just glued on and then stitched. And I did the same thing on the outside of the covers with some super fine cheesecloth. And I did link that cheesecloth in the last video. I'll link it again in case anybody is interested in getting some of that. It's not expensive. It's like $12 for, it's like 45 square yards or something. It's a lot. And it coffee dyes really nicely. Anyway, so I wasn't happy with just the cheesecloth on there, so I went ahead and added some linen that I coffee dyed, and also some of them have linen, and then some have the cotton bed sheet that I also got from Louise, and it's just really, really nice thick cotton fabric. So I did coffee dye some of it, not real dark, and I'm pretty happy with it. And then I just did a little bit of inking on the outside edges. Okay. And I haven't trimmed these off yet. I think I might leave them, although they kind of bug me, but maybe I'll get used to it. Anyway, so I did that on all of these covers. So they've all got the either linen or the cotton, just the cotton fabric on the outside. Okay. And then I stitched them again. So that's why they have, some of them have 2 seams running through. But see, this is the cheesecloth on the inside. And I love it that it's like, you can see through it and it's not very thick. And I feel like these covers are very sturdy now. And I'm confident that they're not gonna break down with just a paper hinge. You know what I mean? Okay, so then I was like, okay, what are we going to put in these things? Because I've got all these pocket options. And so what I did was I just pulled out kind of like one of each of these different styles of pockets that I've already made and kind of laid it out like how I want them to be in the journal. So some of these are already finished. So this needs to just be kind of, because of the glue, it just needs to be kind of stretched just a little bit so that it lays flat really nicely. Okay, so I pulled out a tall pocket and some envelopes and whatnot. All right, so this is that little paper bag that I got from Hobby Lobby. Okay, and then I have some tabs that are kind of sort of like a scallop on the top, and I think they work really nicely on the top of these little bags. So I made these a while back, these pockets. So, or collaged on them a while back. Anyway, so I thought one of those could go there, and then one of the tall pockets that I made out of an envelope, that one could go there, and it can either be like a flip out, or I could just glue it in. I think I'm going to wind up doing it as a flip out pocket though. And then so you could have like writing space on the back too. And then, you know, you could put your tall tag in there. So I have enough of those made already. So I don't think I'm going to be making any more for these journals. So if you're interested in, you know, making some tall envelopes, basically it's just a big like invitation envelope, cut in half and then placed vertically and then stitched, you know. Anyway, there's lots of videos out there. Wendy's Journal Adventures, she does some tall pockets that inspired me to do these. So okay, and then I decided to switch up the envelope situation and do one smaller craft envelope and then one taller one. And I'm going to be making some like pamphlet style journals that'll go into these pockets. So I'll be making one to go in this one and one taller one to go into this one. And so there'll be two different size little mini journals sort of. And then I thought I'd put the short library pocket right there. And this is going to flip probably that way. So I may wind up doing some other, like a glassine bag maybe on the back of this one or something like that. I don't know. But I don't think I'm going to do, well, actually, I might do it this way and then make this a pocket. That might actually work out better. So that might be the plan. We'll see. Things just evolve as it goes by, you know. Sometimes I run out of steam on, I'm going to do this flip out and that tip in and blah, blah, blah. And then I run out of steam and I just go, just get it in there, you know. Anyway, so then I thought this one, the taller envelope, could just, you know, flip out this way. One option would be to take this envelope and make a little tuck spot out of the flap at the bottom and then just writing space here. That might be a good idea. I actually kind of like that idea. So I'm going to kind of turn this around. As you talk through things, you know, it changes. So that's good. It's good. It's good. I like it. Okay. And then this little envelope that has the little string closure, I'd like to put that on here and maybe make it flip out also. And then I don't want everything to be at the bottom because I don't want it to get super fat at the bottom. So I thought this pocket I would put more towards the top of the journal. And then this one as well. And this one is a library pocket with a little flap that I may or may not do like a stringed closure on it, or I might do a magnet or something. So that one there. And then another one of those little paper bags. You know, it is a little bit heavy on the bottom with stuff, but I think it'll even out as it, you know, as we go. This could even go up higher or something, you know. Just have to see how thick it is on the bottom and how well it closes once we get everything in. So, okay. So that's kind of where I'm at with the placement of the pockets and stuff. And it's good to do that and kind of plan it out before you start just gluing things in and all willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? So I thought what we could do is I would like to work on just kind of like a base layer on all of these different pockets. So I counted out how many I needed, and I took the ones that I've already done, subtracted that from, you know, what I need to make. I've got plenty of these tall ones, so I don't need to do any of those. And then I've got this stack of, like, you know, pieces that we can make into tags to go in the pockets. And we can put some ephemera and all kinds of different things in the pockets, and most likely some of that French stuff and you know, just fun papers and stuff. So what I thought I would do is just kind of split these up and do 2 different ways. So these guys, so I'm actually using some of the coin envelopes in place of the little paper bag in some of the journals. So they're pretty much, I mean, they're kind of the same size, not exactly, but pretty close. So I thought I could put a little tab on the top of these too. So I thought, okay, some of those I'll do one way and some the other. And then I'll split those. These I think are going to be done one particular way. And then I'm not really counting these. I'm just kind of splitting up the stacks. Just so they're not all the same, you know. And like that. And then these will all be done the same way. So the envelopes basically will all be done in a similar fashion. So let's talk about the envelopes first and what I want to do with those. Put these pockets away for a minute. And this is just to kind of kick them off, like just to get them started so that they're not blank anymore. We'll do those last. So I do kind of like the idea of in the journal, or maybe even this way. I don't know. I think this is probably better to have it open that way, considering where I want to put it in the lap book. So what I want to do is I'm just going to glue paper on there, you know, just something. And I thought these we could do with some kind of pattern paper and just very, very simple. And then come back and maybe add some, you know, some book pages or, you know, just little bits, some ephemera or maybe some images or something like that, or maybe even some writing paper. Something that somebody can write on. Okay, so I'm just gluing paper onto these. And then since this is going to be, I've decided this is going to be a pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach some kind of paper on here just to sort of, so I'm just using my scraps to see what'll fit on there, you know. Hang on. Let's do that. I'm eyeballing. Oh, first I want to trim this just so I can see what I'm working with. I use these scissors when I know there's going to be like wet glue involved because they're Teflon coated and the glue just wipes off really, really easily. So I'll save some of these larger scraps. Okay. All right, so that's one side of the envelope. And this is just a base, you know. Like I said, I'll add some more stuff onto that, but just to cover up that solid craft color. So then this guy, I'm gonna just do like that. Baby wipes. So I've been playing with these Amazon Basics glue sticks the last couple days, right? And you know what? They are exactly the same as the Dick Blick ones. Some of them are softer than others, and some of them, you know, get gloppy and some of them don't. Anyway, so I'm going to trim this off. So I think I am going to go, I'm going to order some more of the Dick Blick glue sticks because I like the price on those. All right. So like that, and then I want to do something here. I think I'm going to do, just to kind of mix it up. I'll do some like ledger paper on there, on that part. It looks to me like it's just white enough. Okay. So I want to, this doesn't have to be exactly perfect because that flap is going to get glued down and be made into a pocket. So this doesn't have to come all the way down to there, but I do want it to be lined up on the edge because I like having that heading right there. And I should have really been careful with getting glue too far down on this. I probably should have added the glue to the envelope instead of to the paper because I don't want that to glue my pocket shut. So let's just, it's going to kind of prop it open a little bit so that as that glue dries, it won't glue shut. Okay. Oh boy. All right. So that's fine. That's fine. It's not gonna close up. And then basically I'm gonna do the same thing on these taller ones. And I do like the idea of doing that as like a little tuck spot at the bottom of the envelope. So I think I'm just going to do some kind of pattern paper on the fronts of these. Let's just do this one. I'm loving these textures. These come from the website that I mentioned a couple videos back. I think it's called Lost and Taken, something like that. And it's not huge, like they don't have thousands and thousands of images or textures. It's just kind of a nice little selection of some kind of cool stuff. Like I like the grunge section on that website. And they just ask for a donation. And you can, donate whatever you want, however much you want. And then you just process the order, and then they send you an email and you can download your images. It's just kind of neat. There's some coffee dyed paper on there, and there's some like library kind of stuff on there, and like painted walls, and just, I don't know, just all kinds of different stuff. So you see what I mean? Like just adding a little bit of something interesting on there is nice. And then on this side, I think I'm going to do the ledger again. So they'll kind of be like matchy-matchy a little bit. So I'm going to do like a background of ledger paper, and then I think I will actually glue some like writing paper over that, so this can be a space where someone can write in the finished book. Yeah, see, that worked better because I put the glue on the envelope instead of on the paper. Live and learn. And these scissors are Tonic Studios. I will put a link in the description for these scissors too. They really are nice with the Teflon, and they don't they're not serrated like the bigger Tim Holtz scissors, which are also Tonic Studios. But the Teflon is nice. They just don't get gummy, and they stay super sharp. They have a smaller one too, so they're nice. Okay, so that's going to be like that. And then I want just some paper that someone can write on. Just trimming off or tearing off the white part on that. Okay, and I'm going to glue this down. This is more of a cardstock weight paper. So I still want the ledger paper behind to show. And let's see. Oh, I've got these little like pieces from some cards. I think I have a bunch of them, so maybe I can use one of those on each of these envelopes. That would be cool. Yeah. Oops. Okay. So there, I think that looks cool. And I could maybe glue like a couple stamps or a label even or something. And then what I'll do is I will stitch with the sewing machine right across here. So that'll hold this closed, and then it's just going to be just a little spot where you could tuck like a picture or something like that at the very bottom. Okay, so that's going to be like that. And then this is going to get cut along the side after they dry. So this one's probably almost dry. So this one, let me trim this one too. Okay. Move this out of the way. So all of the smaller envelopes, I'm going to treat the same way, and with different papers and stuff. And since this is going to go in the book like this is going to be a pocket. I will notch that with a a circle punch, and then I'm going to cut this open at the top. Okay, so at the end of the envelope, or the bottom of the envelope. Okay, and then I'm going to put a relatively large notch in this because this is where I'm going to actually insert a small journal. Just like a little pamphlet journal is going to go in there. Okay. And then a pocket right here. So this will get notched. This will get notched here. And then I'll probably add, you know, some other decorative paper or like some book page or something like that on this side. Okay. And then this one, basically the same thing. This one is going to go in the book like this. I'm going to cut this side open and do a large notch because our taller journal is going to slide into this one. And then no notching is necessary on this. But I'm going to leave the craft paper on that, I think. I think that's fine to just leave that with the craft paper. So that's why I like to use craft paper, because it's okay if you don't cover it up. Like it still looks nice, I think. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with all of these envelopes. Okay. And then these little guys. So remember I said, like, if you have some of these small envelopes, any kind of small envelope, I mean, if you're trying to work along with this and do things the same or as similar as the same as you can, this one is going to go onto the front of this and it's going to flip up. Okay. If you know, these are avocado dyed, you could coffee dye them or whatever, but if you soak them in just water, like just water, you don't have to put any coffee or anything in it at all. Just soak them in water overnight, and most likely the glue will dissolve on your envelopes. And then sometimes what I do is I just let them dry for like a few hours in a single layer, and then I iron them, and that way they get dry and you never risk the glue sticking them back together again. So, and it's a lot of work to try to, you know, put them under running water and rub the glue off, because it dissolves enough to where the envelope comes open completely, but it's still present. Like the glue is still there. It's just, anyway, you just kind of have to fight with it, but I think it's worth it. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm basically going to just close in these two flaps, and then I'm going to attach paper on the back of the envelope. This is a end paper from some book. So I'm gonna trying to use my scraps. Okay, so that's gonna go there. Whoops, I don't want this real thick part. Okay, so like that, and then I need a new glue stick. So just in case about the cat, okay, so I have never advertised that my Etsy shop, the things that I sell are, you know, come from a pet-free home, but because I've always had the dog, there was a point in time where I didn't have any pets, and a couple people had asked me if I did, and at the time I didn't. But then I had the dog, and so anyway, so now I have the cat, and so just so you guys are aware, anybody who has sensitivity to, you know, animals, I now have a cat, and I can't promise that the cat's not gonna get on stuff. You know what I mean? So these will take a little bit of time, but I like the way they turn out. Just collaging some papers. on the back. Let's do this little bit right there. Although I will say I'm definitely not into having my cat up on the table and up on my desk and that kind of stuff. I'm kind of a stickler about that kind of thing. I just don't like it. Some people don't care, and no judgment. And we're not allowed on the counters or the table or places like that. So this out. And I'm going to do the string closure on these. So, but I need to wait for it to dry. And then I'm going to decide if there's anything else, any of these other pockets, that I'm going to do the little string tie closure thingy mabob on. And then I will do those all at the same time. So I can, you know, I'll get out the eyelets and all that stuff and the string and do them all at the same time. Make sense? Okay, so I'm going to fold this while the paper is still a little bit damp from the glue, just to get the crease back into it. Let me see. It's kind of thick right there now. Okay. And then you go that way. Okay. So I'm going to let this dry with the paper kind of just folded a little bit like that, just so that it'll hold that that fold. Okay, so then this will just close up with a little string, and then I could put, you know, maybe some writing paper on the back of this little guy, or could put a little bit of writing paper on the inside, or stamp some lines or something, or whatever, or stamp a little flower or whatever. Sometimes I don't like doing that because I like you to be able to do that if you purchase the journal. So, okay, so that's how I'm going to do these guys. And then basically all of these pockets, half of them, I'm going to glue some kind of pattern paper on them, and then come back, like I said, on these, and maybe add some book page, or, you know, maybe some images and stuff like that. But just to get some of the work done, I'm going to just get these covered with something, just to kind of get them going in the right direction so they're not just blank anymore. And some of these I may collage them, some I might just do one solid piece. But let me just kind of show you how I deal with the library pockets, because I do like to sometimes cover the little flat part. And it's easy to do. It's easy to do. So let me do that. Let me add something else. Just something. This is a piece of an envelope. Okay. So this is how I will do basically all of these pockets. But half of them I'm going to do some type of pattern paper on the front, and the other half I'm going to do like book paper, okay, like book text, okay. So just to deal with that little strip there, I want to try to cover that up on a lot of these, just because I want to. So I do a lot of eyeballing, right? So I'm going to do like that just to measure my width. Trim it down. And now it'll slip inside so it can go just below the opening of the pocket. Okay. So I'm going to put some glue on here. And then trim this off. This side is always weird. Could use the corner rounder on this too. Okay, so that's basically how I'm going to treat all of these pockets. The ones that don't fold over. Even these, I'm going to glue some kind of pattern paper on the bottom part, and then I'm going to cover the little flap with something else. And then on the tall ones, I'm going to fold this down. You can fold it however long you want. You know, I'm not measuring it. I'm just eyeballing it. And I think I'm going to do string closures on these too. So, you know, it'll have a little eyelet down here with a little circle of paper, and then one here. So these, I'm going to do some kind of pattern paper. I always have like a formula, you know, I always have some kind of, it just makes it easier to produce like a quantity of something if you have some kind of method that you're doing to everything, right? Rather than just like having this really like in-depth creative expression on each and every envelope and start to finish working on one at a time. Like it makes sense to me to just do that on, you know, however many I'm working on at one time. So anyway, so I'm going to do some sort of pattern paper on the flap. See if that's wide enough. Yes, it is. This is marbled paper from a ledger book. So I'm going to use that. And this gives me like a base to embellish more if I want to, or not. Like I could just leave this plain, add a label on there, maybe do some stitching around the edges or something and call it good. Whoops, that wasn't far enough over. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Okay, there. All right, and then this one will get trimmed. I probably would let these all dry. Add my paper on them and then come back and start trimming off on the first one that I did, you know, and by then usually they're dry enough. So, and then on the bottom of this, I could do another pattern paper too if I wanted to, but I think what I'm going to do is just do some ledger paper, and I probably could use a different ledger. That might be nice, but so I want to trim this off so it's straight across the top. because I'm not going to be able to trim that. And I think I'm going to try to salvage the other part of this. So, okay, so this I am going to add the glue to the paper. So the bottom of this is either going to be some kind of ledger or maybe book pages or something like that. Okay. So then these all get trimmed. Here. Okay. So that's the plan for the pockets for now, just to get them all going, you know, for the pockets and the envelopes. And then we can come back and do some embellishing on these and, you know, add some images or some flowers and mushrooms and fairies and butterflies and whatnot, and labels and stamps and whatever. But this kind of gives them a start. Okay. This pile is going to be the opposite of this, right? So these are going to be mostly book pages. Where I did pattern paper on these, I'm going to do book pages and ledger on these. Where I did ledger on the ledgers and book pages on these, I'm going to do pattern paper on these, you know, so they're going to be like the opposite. Okay. All right. So that's the plan and I'm sticking to it. And yeah, so I love you guys. And hopefully if you're working along, you're coming right along. And it would be great to see what you're doing, how you're progressing. If you care to share, that would be awesome. Do that in on Facebook, in my Facebook group, Junk Journal Connections. And I have made some changes in there recently where I disallowed selling of any kind in the Facebook group. And to be honest with you, I hardly ever posted anything sales oriented for my own shop in there anyway. And I just feel like, you know, the reason that I made it open to selling was because I felt like I wanted to be able to do that. And if I can do it, then I wanted everybody else to be able to do it too. But I realized that I don't use it for that and that it was becoming a marketplace and it was just advertisements. And I really don't want my Facebook group to be that. So I apologize to anybody who, you know, was possibly generating sales through that Facebook group and now you're feeling like you're going to lose those sales. I'm really sorry, but you know, Facebook is a big wide world. So, you know, that's the way the cookie bounces. And, someone said to me that it was my circus, my monkeys. So anyway, so yeah, my circus, my monkeys, my group, my rules. And I think they're good rules. I honestly think it's better for everybody if we can just kind of use that Facebook group as a place to share and, you know, have some fun and, you know, get advice or just, you know, just socialize. So, I mean, I think that's really what Facebook should be for us, you know, for crafters. So, and there are avenues on Facebook to sell stuff. So, so this group is just going to be about sharing and being friends. So yeah, if you want to share your progress, that would be awesome. And I'd love to see it. I may come back and do a little bit of a haul video later today with the French stuff that I just got. And then also some new improved label stamps from Signet Stamps that they've been working hard on. And I thought I could share some of those, share that with you too, and show you the improvements and some of the different things that they have been doing with the label stamps. Okay. All right, you guys. So take care. I love you. And yeah, I'll be back. Okay. Bye for now.